Ulster coach Mark Anscombe fielded a weakened team as he chose to rest some regular starters ahead of his side's semi-final, with no prospect of getting a home semi and no danger of dropping out of the playoffs. He made 12 changes in all, Dan Toohey starting a game as captain for the first time. Munster were also likely to have an away semi-final in the playoffs unless Zebre beat Glasgow in Scotstoun. Rob Penny made 10 changes in all, the Munster men looking to avoid back-to-back league defeats for the first time since 2010. And it was the home side who put the first points on the board, Ian Keatley kicking a good penalty to give them a 3-0 lead after 11 minutes. Conditions on the night were not conducive to good running rugby, with wind and rain at Thomond Park making life difficult for both sets of players, but it didn't prevent Munster from scoring one of the tries of the weekend in the 14th minute as they moved the ball at pace, scrum half Duncan Williams racing away for a try in the corner. A fine score for Penny's men. Williams' second try of the season and one for his scrapbook for sure. Keatley converted and Munster were 10-0 ahead inside the opening quarter of an hour. Ulster might have been forgiven for rolling over, but not a bit of it. Only a minute later, scrum half Michael Heaney made a break down the blind side, supported by Michael Allen, who gave the ball back to the number 9, who got away and managed to get the touchdown under pressure for a vital score. It was an excellent try, one that the away supporters will have enjoyed at any rate. When James McKinney converted, it was 10 points to 7. McKinney went on to land a penalty before the break to leave the sides level, 10 points apiece at half-time. McKinney then kicked another penalty early in the second half to move Ulster 13-10 ahead. However, Munster's lead was restored immediately after a clever grubber kick from Keatley. Both sets of players chased it down, and it was Sean Dougall who managed to get the touchdown for his side's second try of the game. A well-judged kick from Keatley, and any one of a number of players could have got the ball down before Dougall did. Keatley converted for a 17 points to 13 lead. But again Ulster came back and McKinney was kicking well. On 53 minutes he got his side back to within a point of the hosts with another penalty for 17-16. And 15 minutes from time, the out half held his nerve to slot another kick between the posts, edging Ulster in front 19-17 and looking set for an unlikely victory. As the clock ticked past 80 minutes, it looked all over as Ulster won a scrum and put the ball out of play as Nigel Owen's full-time whistle blew. But the Ulster men's celebrations were cut short when the officials spotted that Sean Doyle had used his hand in the scrum, and from celebrations, Ulster's emotions switched to nervousness as Munster had a kick at goal that would win the game if landed. Sub JJ Hanrahan entrusted with the responsibility, a hugely difficult kick from long distance and in tough conditions. The Kerryman's effort was never going to make it, and for the second time, Ulster celebrations could follow. They now face an away semi-final against Leinster and will go into that game on a high. Munster face a tricky trip to Glasgow for their semi, and Rob Penny knows his side will need a better performance if it isn't to be his last in charge before he departs for pastures new. Final score at Thomond Park, Munster 17, Ulster 19.